Human versus AI, who can make the better flag? Now, I did make a video like this a while back, but looking back on it, the competition was kind of rigged, mainly because 1, I chose the topics, and to be honest, I kind of made them my strong suits, and 2, I didn't tell AI it was a contest. Think of it as a penalty shootout between me and Cristiano Ronaldo, except that he is blindfolded, spun around, put it in the wrong direction, and has 5 goalkeepers. And for me, I have none of those handicaps, and my goalkeeper is a literal kindergartner. You get the point, right? So let's ask AI to give us the topics. Give me 3 flag ideas for us to compete in. A flag of a future Mars colony. Design a flag that represents the first human settlement on Mars, okay? Think about unity, explore. I don't need tips. Flag of a fantasy kingdom. Oh shit. A flag for a mystical land, you can choose what kind of world it is. And lastly, flag of the Ocean Guardians, a modern organization that protects Earth's ocean and sea life from pollution and climate change. Okay, I guess we're gonna go make a future Mars colony flag. Alright, I've never made a space flag, but it shouldn't be too hard, right? Now, what I'm thinking off the bat is just to take a orange background, put a slightly different orange circle on the flag side, add a UN logo in the canton of the flag, because if the British can do that for all their colonies, then so can I for this Mars one. Come to think of it, it's shit. After reading the topic again, it's not a colony, it's a Mars settlement. So, I came up with the bright idea to add a UN logo. And after some more brainstorming, I came up with a genius idea. First of all, I'm going to put a orange half circle on the hoist side of the flag with some stripes for detail. And then I'm going to add a white curve next to it for an orbit. And also some stars because there are stars in space. Now on the center line on the flag, on the tip of the orange circle, so somewhere here, I'm going to add a UN logo, but white and green instead of blue and white. Then I'm also gonna add some orbits around the logo to make it spacey and stuff like that. And lo and behold, here is the flag. Beautiful, isn't it? Now let's see what AI does. But before that, let me quickly summarize all the meanings. Now there isn't a whole lot, it's just that the orange is Mars, that's obvious. The dark blue is outer space, that's also obvious. The UN logo, however, is where things get interesting, because I wanted it to represent a settlement from Earthlings on Mars. So the UN logo is representing Earth here. The orbit line represents a path of guidance. That's bullshit, I just made it up. It's just that for looks, honestly. And so are the stars. That was basically it. Let's see what AI does. Make the one for the Mars colony and explain the What the hell is that? What the hell is this layout? A vertical tricolor with black, deep red and white and a central golden circle crossed by an upward angled white line. Description left, right, black represents the unknown, the challenges of space and the vast emptiness humanity had to cross to reach Mars. Not bad. Center stripe deep red symbolizes the Martian surface to iron-rich soil and the colony's connection to its new home. Right stripe white stands for hope, ingenuity, and the scientific corporation that made colonization possible. Diagonal white line symbolizes ascent, progress, and humanity's push towards a better future. It also hints to a rocket trajectory on or a sunrise over a Martian horizon. Oh, I will say, on meanings he beat me because he has more meaningful things like ingenuity and ascent. Humanity's push towards a better future, that's genius with the stripe. Okay, let's send him mine. I think is better. I think he's gonna say mine out of symphony. Oh, okay, he's doing a comparison. Okay, yeah, he's being fair. He's saying if we're talking official government organization flag, yours feels more realistic and institutional. If we're talking, symbolic colonial identity flag, mine fits better as the simple iconic emblem for settlers, Let's ask him, which do you think looks better? Be honest. I probably shouldn't have mentioned that I meant looks. Yeah. I wonder if I submit a literal piece of shit, would he like think his is better? I'm gonna be honest, fantasy is not one of my strengths. I'm not creative enough to make an entire kingdom on the spot. And how on earth am I gonna make a flag without something to base it off of, like a kingdom? But I do have an idea. What if in the world my fantasy kingdom is in, it is made entirely out of cubes? And at night, evil monsters, or mobs as the logo called them, such as zombies, skeletons with bow, and green suicide bombers, come out. Plus there is another dimension attached to it. Actually there's two. But to make it more interesting, the kingdom is abandoned and is the ruins of what it once was a thriving kingdom. I guess you could say the kingdom is fallen. A fallen kingdom. If you haven't caught on by now, I didn't make this up. It's literally just Fallen Kingdom from Captain Sparkles. Anyway, in the Fallen Kingdom series, they had a war with the Nether, and they won by wrecking everything with the Ender Dragon. So I guess you could say the Ender Dragon is like a protector, plus they control him like a pet. As a background of the flag, I'm just gonna use this flag from the series, and then putting a shield on with the dragon. Because to my knowledge, that is probably the only way to combine a cross and a dragon and still make it look good. Hence why the Union Jack still hasn't added whales to the flag. Anyway, the shield was going to be a rectangle, which I'll explain why later. And I also had to draw in the Ender Dragon, and I decided to make the background of the shield the main end island with the 8 pillars, which I also drew in, which I thought was really cool. Anyway, before you know it, here is the final flag. Beautiful, isn't it? Now there aren't a whole lot of meanings, just like the Mars colony, but in an attempt to make this video longer and slightly more professional, the background, which is a yellow flag with a red cross, that is the royal pattern of the king's family. Probably isn't. The shield is a rectangle because that's how it is in Minecraft, and the Ender Dragon itself is also kind of like a protector. That's why it's on the shield, to protect. Anyway, let's see what AI does. Fantasy Kingdom. He has me on this one because this is simpler and it looks good. But that again, it's literally just a fucking dragon. Okay, we'll hear him out. Explain the meanings. Magical realm known for ancient dragons and noble houses. Yeah, purple royalty, that's pretty common. Gold dragon and border. Prosperity, courage, and divine favor. Yeah, that's fair. The dragon symbol is power, wisdom, and ancestry. He even went into detail and explained the wing position and the claws extended, which... yeah. Oh, that's good. Wing positions represent freedom. That's really good. I think I might lose this round. Let's send him mine and see what he thinks. Is best. If you want me to be completely honest while still being respectful, here's how they stack up. Your fantasy kingdom is really good and has a lot of personality, but the competition is purely about visual clarity, balance, and strong flag design rules. The purple and gold flag edge. Yeah, that's fair. What I probably should have done is rotate this or make the sheet, but that disrupts the meaning because like it has to be a rectangle for a Minecraft shield. Judging purely design quality, the purple gold flag. And yeah, I understand. I'm not gonna be mad if this flag wins, but let's move on to the last round. I'm gonna be honest, this was probably the easiest challenge of the lot because I had made a team water flag like a few videos prior. Anyway, I couldn't be bothered to redraw waves because I know that's a pain. So I just copied the flag of the Latvian Soviet Socialist Republic, which is basically Latvia back in the Soviet days. I mean, obviously I'm gonna remove the hammer and make the red like a light blue. I'm probably gonna take the blue from St. Lucia because that's a really nice blue. I'm just gonna make a classic layout, just coat of arms in the center. And for the outline of the set coat of arms, I'm going to use a circle, more specifically a life buoy, because we're saving the ocean. And since it's about protecting the ocean, I'm going to use tridents because it's cool and they stand for protection. Now, I originally wanted to make one trident, but that looked like a shit war flag. So instead, I'm just going to use 2 to make an X, and to make it look less like a war flag, I also added some cute dolphins because that and I like dolphins. But that gave me an idea. I'm going to use 2 dolphins actually, one which is unhappy and the other which is happy. And lastly, I added text that says, for our ocean against pollution, which is a shitty motto I came up with like 5 minutes prior to making the flag.
And lo and behold, here it is. Beautiful, isn't it?
Of course, there's gonna be some meanings first. This flag probably has the least meanings because the rest is pretty self-explanatory. The 2 dolphins represent 2 different worlds. One with a clean ocean, which is the yellow one because the yellow is bright, and a world with an ocean full of pollution, which is the blue one because blue is a darker color. The tridents are a symbol of protection, and so are the colors because the yellow and blue stand for protection and fit this flag overall, I think. It does look very Ukrainian, I know, but hey, it looks good.
Right, let's see if AI can do any better. Ocean Guardian.
That's not bad. That's actually really not bad. It's way simpler. It's not bad actually. I think for charity it works better than my flag, but we'll see. Oh.
Which flag do you think is better?
Shit.
Why though? Mine looks better. Okay, so basically what ChatGPT is saying is mine is not simple enough, and it looks too much like a lifeguard or a marine corps, which is fair enough because I added weapons and a life buoy. But still, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna be too upset if ChatGPT wins this one. He did cook a bit, but I think I should get bonus points for the St. Lucia blue. Well, that was it with all 3 rounds, and just like the previous human versus AI flag battle, you get to decide who wins. So go over to my YouTube channel on my community page and vote on the polls for each round on who you think won. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.